Wrongful convictions affect people's lives negatively every day. What is a wrongful conviction? A wrongful conviction pertains to a case when a person is convicted of a crime that they were completely innocent to. Laws within a prosecution where a wrongful conviction begins. The beginning of this leads to the impact the public can have onto the prosecutors ongoing about having a wrongful conviction. This includes the prosecutors not wanting to reopen the cases that they have previously disclosed because they do not want to feel like they either misinformed others or that the public eye cannot trust them. This also happens when prosecutors are typically the ones to take over an investigation that they do not give the victim a chance to act on how they feel, to create charges against a criminal, and to make the final decision for the case. The prosecutors let the victims of wrongful convictions just simply state an opinion, and that is all. Also, the victims are withheld from any information on suspects and allegations until the arrest has been made, and victims cannot see any paperwork or retain any other information besides the convictions and evidence that the prosecution wants to give them, which leads to biased mindsets in the courtroom. Also, when the wrong people are in jail, this creates opportunity for real convicts to formulate crimes, and this includes a real story where two men were sentenced to death and were only proven innocent by the true killer's confessions while arrested for a different crime years later, attempting to avoid death row in exchange for life in prison. The prosecutors refused to believe that the people convicted of the crime were innocent and ended up costing billions in lawsuits of innocence time wasted in jail and costing time spent that they could have been investigating into the real killers. Next is flaws within a judge. How can a judge influence a wrongful conviction? The judge influencing the defendant / the victim's view on themselves can make them enter a plea bargain that they did not want to enter into the first place. For example, there was a trial of a woman who started off helping her friends do their taxes, which ended up leading to her creating her own business. Her business began to grow popularity quickly, and it also comes back on her when she was doing around 10 people's taxes, and then they complained about their taxes being wrong and that they were being audited by the IRS. The customers ended up taking her to court with 6 counts of aiding and assisting in false tax revenues. With the defense of the woman, she had no clue if the information they were giving her was correct and not concluding it would be her fault. Yet in the court, the defense attorney instantly agrees with the prosecutors, and they agree that they should do a plea bargain of dropping 5 counts, leaving her to plead to 1 and 10 months in prison instead of 1 year. When the attorneys and prosecutors conclude this resolution and speak to the judge about it, the judge has a personal connection with this kind of case and speaks on how upset and angered he is about them concluding to a plea bargain. The judge ended up reacting this way and had forgotten to unmute his mic. Well, he forgot to mute it. And then this left the victim to hear everything that they were saying, especially the judge. This led her to be upset, and with the judge acting this way, she ended up taking the plea bargain because she felt like there is no hope for her in an actual court. The article then talks about the impact the judge can have on a trial in which their behavior influences The defendant's decisions minimizing justice and fairness, and provides a quote from a retired superior court that says that the judge should not insert himself directly into a plea negotiation. Instead, he should observe and discuss his opinions to the jury. After this, we can see statistics that say misleading and false forensic evidence accounts for 23% of wrongful convictions, along with the fact that unfollowed protocol by police and false confessions from witnesses lead to 52% of wrongful convictions. Backing this up would be a case where a policeman did not follow protocol, which meant that he tampered with the gun that was on the crime scene before taking a picture of it. Now, this was a suicide that was ruled initially a homicide, that the wife had murdered the husband due to the gun looking to be tampered with. The crime investigators did not realize until weeks after that a policeman did not follow this protocol, and that was the reason why the suicide looked like a homicide. Concluding this PowerPoint would be my sources. I did my research on these and I want to spread awareness on this cause, and I hope you enjoyed my PowerPoint.